Seismic blasts. Distant magnitudes.
This is rifled. What a shot, back and gone. Nelson Cruz, you are incredible.
High in the air, deep to center field. A majestic shot. Tremors of the aftershock. Two of baseball's sluggers are in the epicenter tonight. Rangers baseball is presented by the new Shiner Wicked Juicy IPA. Well, welcome to Seattle. Here in the Pacific Northwest, the Rangers and Mariners. It is the final series of the 2018 season, and we welcome you into Safeco Field. Hello again, everybody. I'm Dave Raymond alongside CJ Nitkowski, and the Rangers hoping to get a couple of wins here in Seattle and finish this season on a high note. The good news for the Rangers is in division, really the Mariners have been about the most evenly matched team they faced.
It's pretty interesting when you start to look at the numbers between these two clubs and how evenly matched it has been. But you're absolutely right. I mean, for the Rangers right now, they got to have a little bit of confidence coming into this one. 8-7 so far in this series against the Seattle Mariners. 4 to go. The runs about the same. The batting average significantly higher for the Mariners. For both teams, a lot of home runs. How about 30 of them so far through 15 games? And the ERA's not very good for either club. The Mariners have won a couple of close ones, and so with 4 to go, the idea of finishing strong here for the Rangers, for a lot of the young players that are going to get that opportunity over these 4 games, very important.
Yeah, in fact, speaking of young players, nobody over the age 28 in the starting lineup today, including the starting pitcher for the Rangers. Last time we saw Ariel Jurado was in a start against Seattle. That was back home, and it was a pretty good one. We'll put Ariel in the spotlight when we come back. Rangers baseball is brought to you by Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer during the Ford SUV season. Ford is the best in Texas. By the new Shiner Wicked Juicy IPA. And by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Just about ready for the start of the final series of the regular season. It's the Rangers and Mariners from Safeco Field here in Seattle. Also time for our Shiner Spotlight. The new Shiner Wicked Juicy IPA. And we have Ariel Jurado in the spotlight. His last outing against the Mariners, a good one.
Yeah, he gets back-to-back outings against the Seattle Mariners, and always a little bit tricky when you're a young pitcher, but he was very good in the last one. Now, he wasn't starting that game. He was used as the primary pitcher, but he turned in a really good outing, 5 innings, couple of earned runs. He was keeping the ball on the ground, had a really good pace. That is always important for Jurado, so now a little challenge for the young pitcher as he gets the Mariners again this evening.
Well, he looked good his last time out. You might not have recognized how he looked last night on rookie dress-up night. More on that when we come back. Rangers baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by the new Shiner Wicked Juicy IPA.
Season on tap here at Safeco Field between the Mariners and the Rangers as we welcome you back, get you ready for first pitch. And before we do that, we take a look back at one of the time-honored traditions in the game of baseball, and that would be rookie dress-up last night. On the flight from Anaheim to here, Adrian Beltre got in on the action, dressing up as the farmer. The rookies were his chicks. Absolutely adorable and highly entertaining flight back here to Seattle. When I asked Adrian about why he wanted to get in on the action, he said, look, when you've been in the league for 20 years, you turn into a rookie again. And he said that the guys wanted to be a part of it. He wanted to be a part of it as well. And if it is, in fact, his final time to partake in rookie dress-up, it will be a memorable one for Adrian Beltre and, of course, all the rookies that were a part of it as well, guys.
Yep, something I think they'll remember for a long time.
Oh, without a doubt, you never forget that for the rest of your life. I don't know. So you got chicks and you had what, chickens or roosters?
Yeah, I guess maybe chickens. Yeah.
I'm not how that whole situation works. I'm not exactly familiar with. There's no roosters in that group, right?
Well, I mean, there might have been some roosters.
I don't even know what that means, but it was outstanding. Yeah, so we got some young peeps essentially, and some chickens and some roosters, and then of course the big man in charge, Adrian Belcher, who really pulled that off incredibly well. It's a fantastic outfit, and it was fun. The guys had a really good time with that whole thing last night. Looked a little uncomfortable sitting in your airplane seat.
Yep.
If you were a rooster. Chick not as bad, but if you were the rooster, you definitely got the short end of the stick on that one. And sitting on the bus once we got to Seattle and then riding in your bus seat to the hotel did not look nearly as fun either. But the rest of it looked like a good time.
Yeah. I think everybody had a good time. And now they're ready to play a little baseball as we get set for the opener in this series. Let's take a look at our Southwest Airlines starting lineup for the Rangers. 66 wins, 92 losses. Odor leading it off at second base. Kiner Falefa will bat second today and do the catching. Nomar Mazara in the 3-hole. He's in right field. It's Profar, Gallo, Ryan Rua in the middle. Ronald Guzman at first base. Willie Calhoun in left. And Hanser Alberto gets a start at shortstop tonight. He will bat ninth.
And they'll be going up against the lefty Marco Gonzalez this evening as we take a look at the Shiner pitch arsenal. And you see the two-seam fastball, the cutter, changeup, curveball, all used for the most part relatively evenly. That fastball, of course, a little bit more. And that's a big one for him. It only averages about 90 miles per hour, but he's a pretty good ground ball pitcher, so he relies heavily on that two-seam fastball to generate those ground balls.
So he's set to go. 13-9 this year with a 4.12 ERA. And Odor, his first opponent of the night. Rudy leading off, goes after the first pitch. Hits this one very high in the air to center field, but Haniger, waiting patiently, pulls it in for the first out of the ball game.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the Mariners defense, which is sponsored by Jack in the Box. And in the outfield, it's Negron, Haniger, and Ben Gamel. And in the infield for Scott Services Club, you got Kyle Seager, Gene Segura, Robinson Cano, Daniel Vogelbach, and Mike Zunino behind the plate.
67 degrees
at
game time tonight. I know you would like that.
That's the last time we had that. 60s. Hey, did you have it in Oakland?
Oh, maybe. Yeah. I think we had a 60. I think we had a 68 one night in Oakland because I remember Elvis was wearing the ear flaps.
That's right.
And isn't 68 room temperature? That was sort of my thinking. I was like, wearing ear flaps, man. Gonzalez dumps one in there for a strike. 1-1 to Kiner Falefa.
I'd say early May for me was the last time I called a game where we were in the 60s, but it's a beautiful night here.
1-1. And a swing and a miss. There you go.
Come on.
Fellas, it's 67 degrees. Stocking caps?
That's one of those things where if you have them, you got to use them, right? You only have 4 games left. I guess maybe that's where they're going with it.
Bouncer down to third, and Seager throws out Kiner Falefa 2 away. Hey, listen, to each their own. I'm a person who gets cold easily, so I shouldn't criticize. Although I guess I'm not quite there yet.
It's a pretty thick jacket that Delano has on as well. We know the guys will wear the sweatshirts all the time. Now, what about for Bartolo, who always has no problem wearing sleeves and sweatshirts anyway?
He wears the hoodie when it's 108 degrees.
So do you think he's like the full boat, like the football full-length jacket, the puffy one?
Right. Yeah, I mean,
with the big gloves.
I can't imagine how he's handling this tonight. Mazara, the left side of the plate, and he's up there hacking. Yeah, you knew that Elvis would be bundled up. What does he got? Is that like a vest over the hoodie with the stocking cap?
It looks like he may have ripped that off himself. I don't know what that is. It looks like a jacket with no sleeves.
Yeah.
Be good for if you had a motorcycle and didn't wear anything underneath.
Zahar turns this one foul to count 0-2. Rangers trotting out a whole lot of different items in the wardrobe tonight. Mazara, meanwhile, sitting on the 20 home runs, 76 RBIs. Today batting third in the order. He is one of 5 left-handed hitters in the lineup for the Rangers, plus the switch hitter Jurickson Profar.
Even though Gonzalez has had a pretty good year, the batting average against overall is at 272. Lefties 279 against him, and the righties 270. So the splits are pretty even.
Strike 3 called. Mazara takes a close one, and it's a quiet top of the first for the Rangers. Marco Gonzalez off to a nice start. Ariel Jurado now to go to work. To come to bat. And we take a look at their starting lineup. And by the way, 86 wins for Seattle. Mitch Haniger leading it off in center field. Gene Segura, the shortstop. Robinson Cano at second, bat second. It's Cruz, Seager, Vogelback in the middle. Zunino catching, Ben Gamble in right, and Christopher Negron in left field rounds it out for Seattle.
We'll go ahead and take a look at the pitch arsenal for Jurado. Two-seam fastball 61% of the time. Change-up four-seamer in there as well. You see the slider and the curveball, just 9% usage on those pitches, but they've both been really good. The curveball just a 167 batting average against, the slider 188. I wonder if we'll see maybe a little bit more usage on those pitches because they've been very effective for Jurado.
And it's a pretty broad arsenal, his Shiner Wicked Juicy IPA arsenal. When it's that big, you have to have that many names for the arsenal. It can't just be a Shiner arsenal.
That's a good point. Get all the way in there.
2-1 to Haniger.
But it's top heavy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Fastballs.
Oh, ground ball left side. Nice snare by Profar. The throw across in time, and they get Haniger. Well, that thing got down there in a hurry, and Profar, sometimes he tricks me. I mean, I just didn't know that he was going to be able to flag that one.
He did a nice job here going to his left. Look at the hop, too, so he had to adjust accordingly, had to hurry up and get that throw. We know that Jurickson has had a little bit of an issue with his throws. That's a good example of one, I think, where you don't have time to think. You just got to fire it over there. And for a lot of infielders and even pitchers when they're fielding their position, the quick play, the bang-bang play, usually not an issue. Sometimes you get a little bit too much time to think, and that's where the things can get a little sideways on you with the throws.
Only hurt the ball club a lot of times when you think. Gene Segura, and he's showing bunt. Drops this one foul. 1-1 the count. The Mariners 86 wins, 72 losses, and I don't even say in the back of their mind, at the forefront of their mind is the fact that with 4 games remaining, they hold out hope of maybe getting to that 90 win plateau. Segura couldn't hold off. 1-2 the count.
Well, so we saw Gene Segura try to attempt a bunt there. Not surprising. You look at this right here in Major League Baseball. The Rangers second, the Mariners fourth in the most attempts for those bunt hits. For Segura, he's tried 10 times. He's got 3 of them down. Of course, you got to keep an eye on D. Gordon. Not in the lineup tonight, but he's got 8 of them and kind of spread around here a little bit for the Mariners. Denard Span also not in the lineup. He's got a few.
Little roller to the left of the shortstop position, and Andrews takes care of Segura. There are 2 gone. Sorry.
Go ahead and take a look at the Rangers defense, which is delivered to you by DeMontron, Willie Calhoun, Ryan Rua, and Nomar Mazara in the outfield. And in the infield, according to Dave Raymond, it's Jurickson, Profar. No, that's not Elvis Andrews. Hanser Alberto, Rugen Odor, Ronald Guzman, and Isaiah Kiner Falefa is behind the plate. That's what happens when you have a steady. I do that all the time. He's out there all the time. We just think Elvis. Yeah. It's always Elvis all the time. But Hanser Alberto getting an opportunity this evening at short.
Cano takes one off the plate for ball. Yes. Alberto with the start. So that's good. Also good to figure that out early.
Yep.
Get the mistakes out early.
Well, I wonder if there'll be. No, listen, I fall into that trap all the time. I wonder if we'll see less and less. I mean, you're still going to have your guys. We talked about this, right? All the moving around. Mm-hmm. And even Don Wakamatsu was kind of asked about that a little bit today and where this club is headed in the future as far as the flexibility that you have. Now, Elvis will, no doubt, I don't know, what, 95 to 98% of the games at shortstop and Rugi at second. But other than that, it'll be maybe a decent amount of movement depending on what happens this offseason. So you and I got to be on our toes. I think that's the biggest point of this.
Yeah.
It's really about us.
No, and I think it's becoming more and more the case for every team that they're looking at having interchangeable parts at all the positions and just having that ability to move guys around in the order and in the field. Cano fights one off. The count stays a ball and 2 strikes. What I think is interesting about all that is how players have become pretty comfortable with that conceptually. You know, I mean, we see there was a day where you would never think of that with a guy like Joey Gallo, big, strong guy like that. No, you just find a spot and plug him in there. But the Rangers have been able to use him all over the field, and he seems to adapt real easily. 1-2. That just misses.
Don Wakamatsu even said today, as far as using Joey as an example, could he play center field all year long? He said absolutely. He was also asked, could Isaiah Kiner-Falefa be a full-time catcher? He said, yeah, I think he's just about there. I don't know if that's necessarily any kind of plan. He thinks if it had to be, it wouldn't be an issue.
Bouncer to second base, and Dario Hirado has a 1-2-3 bottom of the first inning. So good start for both starting pitchers. When we come back, Jurickson Profar will lead things off for the Rangers in a scoreless game. Texas Department of Transportation. We remind you to click it or ticket, day and night. All right, scoreless first inning. Jurickson Profar will lead things off here in the second for the Rangers. Profar, Gallo, and Ryan Rua. Our WinStar World Casino and Resort leaderboard. Well, Profar, 6 home runs in the month of September, and that's the most in any month of his career. And as outside, it is 2-0. So Profar, we've talked a lot about what a great year it has been for him. The playing time, the versatility, the offensive production, but he's ending it on a strong note to boot. And now the count 2-1.
We talk about this a lot at this time of year. It's certainly something that is important. Now, he had a really good year regardless, but finishing strong, leave that in the minds of your front office, your coaches. A really nice season for Jurickson. He's working some bright. Is that our monitor, or are those gloves really bright?
Sir, those are, yeah, those are visible from outer space.
And the shin guard looks extra red.
Three 1 pitch. And this one fouled over to the right side. It's a full count.
That's quite the contrast to go with the blue and the gray.
Well, you and I both have kids.
Oh yeah.
And they colors are great, right? The louder and more obnoxious the colors, the better. And as far as like what goes with what, it all works. It all works. 3-2. And Profar takes close. That's ball 4. And that's a great at bat. You don't earn many walks off this guy tonight. So to get Gonzalez to issue a leadoff walk in the second inning, that's an accomplishment.
An absurdly low 1.7 walks per 9 for Gonzalez this year. So you're absolutely right. And the good at bats that Jurickson Profar has put together against left-handed pitching this year continues. We talked about that in the last trip when we were in Anaheim against the Angels. That has been a big improvement for him, what he has done against lefties and showing that patience there to draw that leadoff walk.
So man on for Joey Gallo. And he takes low. So we saw the highlight there in that last at bat for Profar. You saw his home runs highlighted, a season high 20 this year for him. And Gallo hit number 40 for the year in that last series in Anaheim as well. So a couple of guys getting to some big plateaus this season, 1-1.
Let's get to some StatCast AI, which is powered by AWS. And this is Joey Gallo's home runs the last 2 years, 40 this year, 41 last year. And the pitches in which he hit those home runs, the fastball is very similar. Sliders, what you see this year compared to last year, maybe less curveballs that have been hit out of the ballpark, and 10 feet less than the average distance, for whatever that's worth. But how about the average exit velocity? I know you get excited about that. Exactly the same. 40 home runs this year, 41 last year, and it is the same exact exit velocity to the decimal of 107.7. All the hits. FM 107.7.
barely. That barely
Now,
fits on the spec.
I think the home run in Anaheim alone made the difference in the distance. Right, the one that he hit the dead center last year.
Oh, the 490?
Yeah. That's how you get the little bit higher distance.
Well, last year, I mean, he had that one, and then he had that absurd home run at home.
Yep.
It went out over the Lexus Club. And
that's a Hyundai.
Well,
Club.
Which,
if you have a Lexus, you're actually
similar.
not allowed to go there.
That's not true. Well, they should think about just calling it the car club. Make it easier on some of us. Good night, everybody. It's been fun. We'll see you tomorrow.
I understand this correctly. Elvis Andrews drove his Lexus to shortstop. Is that right?
Yeah. After he got off working Hyundai. 3-2 the count on Gallo.
Now, in your defense, we got him pretty late last night.
I almost thought about opening the broadcast today with a disclaimer because I've had more of these nights in Seattle where we come in at like 4 o'clock in the morning. The next day, you know, I've got Clem Kadiddlehopper playing right field and who knows, Biff Pocoroba and right. I mean, I'm a mess on these days.
Well, what's tough is that you get in late, and even as a player, you go through this. You're like, well, I'll just sleep in. And some guys are really good at that. Me and you are not two of those guys. And I think as you get older, it gets a little bit more difficult. Closing eyes or whatever time it was, 3:30. Yeah, I'm going to sleep till 11. 6:45. Here I am, bright-eyed.
Lead at first for Profar in the 3-2 pitch. And that is strike 3 called. Gallo, a close one. He thought he might have earned the walk there, but instead, strikeout, first down of the inning. Well, next season we will open the regular season at home against the Chicago Cubs. And your opening day tickets, well, those are a lock when you become a season ticket holder. And 2019 season ticket holders also get first in line for season tickets at the new Globe Life Field. Full and half season ticket plans on sale now. Just go to TexasRangers.com/seasons. Ryan Rua, the adult in the lineup today for the Rangers, over 28 years old. When you're a little kid, you're not 8, right? You're 8.5.
You still go halves at 8?
Oh, for sure. You go halves, I think, till you probably about the time you become a teenager.
I'd like to think you capped that at 3. 4 maybe.
No
4's
way.
pushing, yeah.
When you're a kid, you were just 8?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Oh, man, no. You take the halves.
And the have-nots.
until your teen years. Ryan's basically 28.5. And so he is by far the oldest in the lineup today. In fact, the Rangers not only going with a really young lineup, they've got probably the most experienced bench in baseball tonight. You got some guys you can pull off that bench if needed as Rua strikes out swinging 2 away. And represents some of the better hitters in the game. So as an example, you take all the hits for the starting lineup tonight, and they have a little better than 1,900 combined career hits. Elvis Andrews, Adrian Beltre, and Shin-Soo Choo on the bench today. They have over 6,200, more than 3 times the hits of the entire lineup. Just sitting there on the bench.
Yeah, pretty amazing. We did see Elvis, of course, have the big pinch hit.
Yeah.
We played the Angels a couple of nights ago, so that certainly could be a possibility. You have the experience. You have the option to play left-right with Choo, if need be.
Guzman takes down low, 1-1. But after that travel day yesterday, I think Tano Akamatsu deciding, well, maybe the older fellas could just use a little time.
So looking at those 2 guys right there, Delino and Elvis, you think that you ask Brandon what kind of hat you want, or does he just give you whichever one he wants to give you?
Interesting,
manager.
yeah. So
Delino had the pom-pom on top. Elvis did not. Do you ask or you just receive?
I think you ask. If it's anything like growing up, of course, there's a big cardboard box somewhere with just a bunch of junk in it, and you root around in it. You think that's how it happens?
Just try to find the matching gloves.
Yeah, exactly. Ball and 2 strikes. And Guzman reaches out, taps this one to the right side of the infield, and that makes for a routine play for Robinson Cano. And the inning is done. Rangers got a leadoff walk, but couldn't advance, and we've played an inning and a half, no score.
For legendary moments, Rangers fans, this Bud's for you.
Neither team has scored early on here. Heart of the order coming for the Mariners in this second inning. Nelson Cruz, Kyle Seager, and Daniel Vogelbach. We have some Rangers fans all the way to the end this year up here in Seattle, enjoying beautiful weather. As Cruz takes in for ball one. See Cruz with the 305 home runs. It's at the start of the 2010 season, most in baseball. He pops this one up. And Odor will take care of it. One away. Gives us a moment to pause and check in with the folks over at Southwest Kia.
At Southwest Kia, we've made car buying easy. $250 down delivers, monthly payments $250 a month or less. SouthwestKia.com.
That's a first out in the air tonight against Dorado. First inning, 3 ground outs. That's his game. You want to see him getting out on the ground. That usually means his good stuff is working. 4 wins, 5 losses, an ERA over 6 for Dorado.
Yeah, it's been good. 51% ground ball rate. League average about 44% usually. And you're right, that is his game. If he gets the sinker working and getting guys to hit the ball on the ground, he can go on one of those runs that we've seen him go on before. As long as he keeps that ball in the zone, just below the zone is really important as well. That's the better version of Dorado, which we have seen at times. It's gotten away from him when he hasn't had that sinker, and that's where things can get a little dicey for him.
He wants to Kyle Seager here. Seager fouls that one away. 1-2 the count.
Has not thrown a first pitch strike yet. Doesn't matter. Got his first 4 guys out, 0 for 5 so far.
Yeah, we've seen this a couple of times recently where the starting pitcher has a little trouble getting that first one in for a strike, and yet still manages to do all right. Yohander Mendez last night, in fact, was really struggling getting the first pitch in for a strike.
You never want to do it intentionally, but there are certain guys that can get away with it. And I think Dorado is one of those when his sinker is there, even if he's missing, because that's what happens with sinker ball pitchers. You're going to get low strikeouts, and the walks may be a little bit higher than you would like, right? And that's because that ball is falling out of the zone a lot. That also means you may fall behind early in the count, but if you can get that sinker on the plate, you can still get the contact that you're looking for. That's always the give and take with the heavy sinker ball pitchers.
2-2 to Seager. Pitch on the way, and that one is outside. It's a full count. Seager, a left-handed hitter, and he has done some good things against left-handed pitching.
250 this year. Really struggled against the righties,
which is weird.
207.
And he swings and misses here. So once again, has a little trouble with a right-hander, and he's striking. In fact, he's now 0 for 3 this season against Dorado.
Well, here's that 2-seam fastball. Watch this thing finish off the plate, almost identical to the pitch before. Maybe a little bit later movement that Kyle Seager could not pick up on. That's the good sinker from Dorado. That one stayed up a little bit, but it's the late movement that generated that swing and miss.
So 5 up, 5 down, and Daniel Vogelbach takes off the plate, and there's another first pitch that misses.
0 for 6. I love it. I mean, I don't love it. I love that he's getting guys out and hasn't done it.
Vogelbach hits this one right through the left side of the infield. Rangers were set up for him to hit it to that spot, I guess. I saw where Profar was positioned. We only have one infielder on that side of the infield. He was pretty close to it.
I think the Rangers were expecting a little bit more pull from Vogelbach. Now you see here how that ball was left up a little bit. Now they're not worried about him hitting the ball down the third baseline, obviously. And Dorado got that ground ball, but it was a hard one. A couple of big dudes right there chatting it up. Vogelbach looks like he's trying to get Guzman's attention. Guzzi locked in.
Mike Zunino now. And he swings and lines one to short where Alberto jumped nice and high, although maybe didn't have to jump as high as he did. He pulls it in and the inning is done. And so the Mariners leave a man. We go to the third.
Mariners and the Rangers, and we're going to get to our Kubota power stats as we take a look at Marco Gonzalez and the year that he has had so far. It's been a good one. This is the highest percentage of strikes in the American League, and there is Gonzalez, fourth in the American League, around and behind some pretty good pitchers at nearly 68% that he has been in the zone. He also does a really nice job of getting hitters to chase out of the zone, so he'll be around the plate just off, and then of course you can get a hitter to swing at a pitch that's out of the zone. That technically counts as a strike as well. So that's been a strength for Marco Gonzalez this year. We mentioned the really good walk rate of 1.7 per 9, so the Ranger hitters know that, and he works pretty quickly as well. And so you got to be ready to go and ready to swing it against Gonzalez.
Calhoun takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Willie batting eighth today and starting in left field. And he hits this ball hard down the right field line, headed toward the foul pole. That one is foul.
He knew it too. I thought there was a chance that maybe that could stay fair and get out of here, but Willie Calhoun took just a couple of steps out of the batter's box and realized that one was going to hook foul. Just a little bit in front of that Marco Gonzalez pitch.
And now the 1-2. And this one the other way down the left field line, and that one's slicing foul. Okay, he's trying both sides.
So what do you got? Base hit to center field now? It's got to be, right?
Pretty much, yeah. If I were Haniger, I'd be ready. You play him to pull. Check swing, and that one is off the plate. 2-2. Calhoun, .239 average, 2 homers, 11 RBIs. And he hits this one foul to the right side again.
That pitch was way in. Reminded me of that pitch that we saw Ohtani swing at the other night. Almost hit him. How far in this ball is. They're set up in. Now Willie Calhoun is on top of the plate, so he really forces the left-hander to get it in there if he's going to go in. There's not a lot of margin for error. Now let's look at that. It looks almost like he's a little bit further off the plate now.
Oh, and he swings and misses at strike 3. Fourth strikeout tonight for Gonzalez. Time for a Chevy game break. Let's check in with Dana Larson. Ooh.
It's the ultimate great teammate move. I mean, I know you would stick up for me if it cost you $500,000 at any point.
No, I don't think I would.
Think it over. I don't need your answer just yet.
Okay, hang on. No, I wouldn't do it. One strike pitch.
Not only did he do it, but then he had something to say to the dugout after the fact. He had the hit by pitch and then a little squawking into the raised dugout after the fact.
Alberto pops this one foul out of play. So you got to really kind of be incensed, right? I mean,
well, here's two ways to look at it.
For the rest of us, that is an absurd amount of money. CC Sabathia in his career earnings, about $250 million.
Oh.
He's made $250 million in his career.
So he doesn't care. Little pop up off the handle near first. That one drops in and nobody covering first. Vogelback trying to make a sliding catch. Couldn't quite get to that one.
That is incredible right there. You don't see that very often at all. Broken bat, a pop up that doesn't get very high, and that gets an ear-to-ear smile for Andrew Alberto. Watch this here. He got jammed. The bat was shattered. You know what? That got up kind of high enough. But Vogelbach, he's a big dude, not known for the speed. And he tried to tackle it. Couldn't quite get the full extension. That's why I don't think it mattered if anybody was at second base. Anyway.
So Rangers have a base runner and they have a hit. The last time we saw Marco Gonzalez, he allowed only the 1 hit in his 6 shutout innings. That was last Saturday in Arlington. And he pumps this one in for a strike to Rougned Odor. You say $250 million?
$252 million according to Baseball Reference career earnings.
Alberto not going anywhere, and the pitch a little low. 1-1. That looked like a pretty good pitch right there, but Marvin Hudson, the plate umpire and crew chief, didn't give that one to Gonzalez.
So if my math is right, if you just say it was say you made $25,000, that'd be the equivalent of, I think, 50 cents. The $500,000 that he gave up. So if you were making $25,000 a year and it cost you 50 cents to back me up, you would do it.
I would do that.
Yeah,
I would do that.
So it's all the same.
I'd probably a buck.
Yeah, you take it that far.
Yeah.
You're not afraid. I think that's right.
So many decimal points in
yeah,
there.
A lot of commas.
Boy, oh boy. Fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Odor, who flied out in the first. He's 0 for 1. Rugi hitting .257 coming into the game today. 18 home runs for him.
No, $50. Sorry.
Oh, $50?
Yeah.
I'm out.
I know.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Just keep your hands up. Don't let him hit you around the head. There's a toss over to first, and Alberto's back in there. Boy, this has really been a real great test of our relationship.
Yeah.
I'm in for 50 cents, maybe even a buck. $50, that gets a little steep. Two. Oh, and that one cued to the left side and through a base hit. Alberto stops at second, and Odor, using a little open space there to his advantage, goes the other way for a single.
You can't teach this kind of exit velocity. This is all about proper placement. First Alberto, and now Rougned Odor. This is as off the end of the bat as you can possibly get. He might have hit it with the top of his bat. You see that one just kind of squeak through.
The ball's just not carrying tonight.
It's not, but they're still resulting in base hits. All right, it's guessing time. Hanser Alberto's exit velocity?
30.
41.
Okay.
Rugi?
Oh, that was harder. That was like about 50.
60. So 101 combined, still less than the average home run for Joey Gallo.
Well, 2 hits out of it. Pretty, but it works. Kiner Falefa 0 for 1. He's in the hole here now. No balls and 2 strikes. Isaiah, .264 average. The 4 home runs this year. And doing a little more catching. He's caught more this year, I believe, with this start today. Well, more games, more starts behind the plate than in any other season in his minor league career. That one is strike 3 called. Yeah, a low strike call that time for Gonzalez, his 5th strikeout of the evening. Well, you can take your Rangers fandom to the next level by owning a piece of the game. Yeah, check it out. See how you can buy anything from game-used baseballs to bases, as well as a lot of autographed memorabilia. It's all at TexasRangers.com/authentics. Let's see, Gonzalez has induced 2 ground ball outs, 1 fly ball out. Everything else has been a strikeout. Nomar Mazara, one of the strikeout victims, and he takes low and outside for ball 1.
All right, last little bit of information on those 2 base hits.
Okay.
The hit probability for Hanser Alberto.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's got to be about 8%.
5.
Okay.
5%. And for Rugi, a little lower than I thought it would be. 11%.
Wow.
On that hit probability. I guess we're looking at the shift. They're not.
Fly ball out into short left field, and that's not an easy play. Negron able to get in and make the reaching grab to win the inning. Now Rangers defied some odds in the inning, but couldn't get any runs out of it. We've played 2.5 scoreless innings. The Brewers with a win after the ball game yesterday. A little celebration in the clubhouse. It's their first postseason appearance since 2011, and so you're allowed to celebrate like that.
Oh, it's a blast. Never gets old. A couple of phones might have got ruined, and Bob Uecker in on it, having a good time. That's a great shot right there. That's tremendous video and a nice moment for the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, they're not done just yet, although they're not getting much help from the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight as the Cubs are leading them 3-0 in the 9th inning. They know they're going to the postseason. The question becomes, as what? Are they a wild card team? Looks like they'll be a game back in the division with 3 to go.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know why. I feel like they're going to get it done. That's going to be really hard to do. Ben Gamble takes the ball, 1-2 the count.
Since they had today off, they could go ahead and go a little crazy last night. I think had they not had today off, you probably pull it back a little bit.
Two to Gamble. And he'll hit this one in the air out to right field, but Mazara was shaded towards center and able to pull it in, one away. Let's take a look at the postseason setup right now. And again, there's still a little to be determined, but you look in the National League, Brewers currently a wild card, and they would play the Dodgers for the opportunity to see Chicago, whereas the Rockies and Braves in the division series as things currently stand.
And that could change tomorrow, easily change throughout the weekend. Essentially, I think we're pretty confident that the Cubs will be up 1 game on the Brewers going into the weekend series, the last 3 games. The Rockies are a game up on the Dodgers right now, so that certainly could change. And the National League is not quite settled. I mean, it's really amazing to think that there's a possibility that the Cubs could play the Dodgers in the wild card game.
But enough of the precincts are in at this point where we're willing to call the Cubs win tonight?
I'm looking up, and it's over your left shoulder. It's the 9th inning, and they're down. They're up 3-0.
Okay.
2 outs.
Nobody on.
Nobody on. And former Ranger Jesse Chavez in there right now trying to close it out.
He's done a nice job. Swing and a miss, and Negron goes down swinging. Second strikeout tonight for Ariel Jurado, and he's off to a nice start.
Yeah, let's take a look at this pitcher. Mentioned the curveball and the slider that we don't see too often from Jurado, but there's a really good slider down and away at 86 miles per hour, and that pitch becomes really effective because of the strong usage of the two-seam fastball that he uses inside to those righties. And like I said, I mean, you don't just look at batting average and say, oh, hey, you should throw that pitch more. And there's the good two-seamer with the good movement. That's actually really nasty, that one. But I think the secondary stuff is what's going to be important. I think it will really dictate the success of Jurado and how deep of a starter, how high in the rotation you could look at him. The consistency of the two-seamer and the movement. He always throws strikes, and then those secondary pitches and how good they are. I really like that slider that he just used down and away in that spot.
1-1. And that one misses low. Now Jurado, 3 ground balls in the first inning. Hasn't had a ground ball since, but a couple of strikeouts. Pop up and a line out. 2-1. And there's a bouncer, but foul. It'll even count. Haniger in the leadoff spot. And the Mariners have, I don't want to say they've stumbled on this, but it's been a pleasant development for Scott Service here in the last month or so of the season. 2-2 pitch, that's fouled away. We'll do it again. Haniger batted in the leadoff spot for the first time on August 9th, and since then you can see what he has done as the leadoff man. A 967 OPS. High average, good power still. Fouls this one back our direction.
Have you? I don't think you and I have had a foul ball in the booth all year. Do you have one with Tom?
Oh, we had one very close here early in the year. We were here in April, like mid to late April, and then early May. And I want to say Sarah, our stage manager, almost got hit by a ball as this one rolled up the middle and near second base. Odor throws out Haniger, and the inning is done. I don't think it got in the booth, though. Anyway, a 1-2-3 for Gerardo. So now to the fourth inning, still no score.
Rangers, and we saw him mash his 40th home run of the season when we were in Anaheim earlier on this trip. He's looking to add to that here in Seattle as we close out the 2018 season. And talking to Don Wakamatsu about the player that Joey Gallo has become, he says he's really just now beginning to realize his potential. When you take a look at the numbers that Joey put up in the second half after the All-Star break this season compared to last season, we talked about how remarkable it was, the transition that he made last year, and he even improved upon that this year. So really, Joey learning to embrace the player that he is and work within his strengths and try to improve his weaknesses. But we've seen a marked advantage, or a marked improvement, I should say, in Joey's game from the first half to the second.
Yeah, we've seen it now 2 years in a row. I mean, and you look at that OPS, the power that he has shown, those are really good signs. And it can show you that Joey Gallo is absolutely capable of being that kind of player for whatever reason these past 2 years. It has been in the second half where we have seen the better version of Joey Gallo. I mean, the overall year is still very good. There's some room for improvement and some things to get better at. But when you see those kind of numbers, I think for Joey, it's interesting. I think a lot of guys go through that and say, what do I do differently? How do I get that kind of production all year round? Because he's obviously shown that he can be that guy. But just to kind of put that in perspective as far as where his second half OPS is. What do we say? It was 972? Is that right? Does that sound right? Second half?
Yeah, 970 something.
Put him like 5th in baseball. Now, obviously, it's a half a year, but over a full year, that's top 5 in the entire game.
Profar chases strike 3. One out here to start the fourth inning, and it'll bring up Joey Gallo. Joey struck out looking in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. Now there you see the season numbers at the bottom of the screen there for Joey. 40 homers, 92 RBIs. Now that's a great year. The average at 208. But the on base right near league average. 315 coming in. First pitch for Gonzalez off the plate now. I don't know if you happen to see the article. It was earlier in the week. Might have been late last week even. And this one pulled down the first baseline. Foul ball. And the count is 1-1. You talk about strikeouts and I don't know the effect that can have on a guy mentally, that kind of thing. And he's not the only one who struggles with strikeouts. And I mean, 204 this year for Joey Gallo. I think, and it's the point Emily was kind of making, is that he seems to handle it pretty well, right? I mean, he seems to have some peace with who he is as a ball player and what that means, like statistically and all. This one pulled again to the right side, but very well played. Cano back deep, and he throws him out for out number 2. But there was a really interesting article on Chris Davis. And I can't think of where I read it. And what the struggles, especially with strikeouts, have meant for him. It has almost broken him.
I wonder why.
The failure, the struggle.
Like currently, even now?
Yeah. It was an article that just appeared like a week within this last week.
So it's in 40+ home runs for Chris Davis. We talked about this a lot, right? That 247 batting average that he had 3 years in a row. It's 249 this year.
Not Chris with a K.
Oh.
Yeah, no, the Orioles.
Chris
Davis
bad. I'm sorry.
Was unfortunately He's had a tough go of it. 16 home runs this year and just short of 200 strikeouts. Yeah, well, that Chris Davis, the Chris Davis with a K, he's not suffering any crisis of confidence.
But he's got 170 strikeouts.
Yeah,
195 last year, but he's leading baseball in home runs right now. And Joey Gallo's not that far off from that. I don't worry about the strikeouts as much. I don't worry about anything with him. I think we'd love to see a higher batting average. I think it would make everybody feel good. He gets crushed by the shift, and I don't know how many adjustments I'd really want him to make, because you don't want him to give up any of that power.
No, I agree.
He's lost 26 hits to the shift this year. He's only gained 8. His batting average otherwise would be 245. You'd be okay with that. That's right at league average. The league average batting average with 40 home runs, you'll take it all day long. And so what you do about that, the idea of shortening up and trying to hit ground balls the other way, I don't think I would want Joey Gallo to do that. A bunt here and there, maybe. I don't know. But every time he goes to square to bunt, that guarantees he will not hit a home run in that at bat. It's just one of those things, and a lot of guys are getting hurt by it.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
he's certainly not the only one.
The article, by the way, was SI.com.
I've heard of it.
They used to have a great magazine that come to your door and everything. This one hitting the air deep out to right field, but again, not going to get out. That one's just shy of the warning track, and that will do it for the Rangers in the fourth. We go to the last of the fourth inning, 0-0.
Has been very good for the Rangers, using that entire repertoire to get these ground balls. Some swings and misses in there as well for Gerardo. Good slider down and away to get that strikeout. And it's been a good evening so far through 3 innings. And you see the pitch usage so far from a percentage standpoint, pretty much right in line with what he has done so far this season. Lots of fastballs, a little bit on the changeup, curveball, and slider for the Rangers right here.
Oh, look at that. First pitch strike to Gene Segura in the fourth inning. Segura, Cano, Cruz. Second time through the order for Gerardo, and he's ahead 0-2.
And that'll be something to keep an eye on. The batting average for him, first time through this year, 281. Jumped up to 325 second time through, and then third time 371. And part of those numbers, I think, are what led and have led the Rangers to try him as that primary pitcher using the opener, so he wouldn't have to see the top of the order, the strongest part of the order a third time through, but you could still maximize the pitch total. But when he gets locked in with the two-seamer and he gets those steady ground balls and weak contact, I don't think it's nearly as much of an issue. It's just a matter of whether or not he brings his A game that night.
Bouncer right side of the infield, and Odor out into the grass at right, throws out Segura. And that is the first out of the fourth inning. Brings up Robinson Cano, our TXU Energy power player to watch tonight. And Cano against the Rangers this year has had some pretty good at-bats. 7 hits in his last 12 at-bats. A .440 average this year. A couple of homers. OPS over 1,200. Man, stands to reason that he might have some decent numbers. This guy has good numbers against a lot of teams. And right now, Cano playing some of his better baseball. You go back since the beginning of the month, or basically the beginning of the month. Let's call it the last 20 games now. And Cano is hitting .364, 7 doubles, 4 homers, and 17 RBIs in those last 20 games. Working on a current 8-game hitting streak. 0-2 pitch.
One thing we've noticed here with Gerardo against the lefties, we saw it with Seager when he struck him out. Seems like there's a little bit more horizontal movement on the two-seamer, where it's staying on the same plane, not quite getting the depth that we saw when he was facing Ben Gamel, or excuse me, not Ben Gamel, but I think it was Mitch Haniger. The two-seamer had a little bit more dive to it.
Up the middle, Alberto behind the base, and he throws out Cano. 2 gone. Well, hey, we invite you next year, entertain some guests at Globe Life Park with a night of hospitality in a suite. Suite rentals include parking passes, a suite attendant, concierge service, and recognition on the center field video board. Go to TexasRangers.com/suites and put down a deposit for a suite rental in 2019. All right, Nelson Cruz 0 for 1. And he'll take inside. 2 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning, no score. Fouled away, 1-1. Cruz has maintained some pretty remarkable consistency, even as he ages, at least as far as the game is concerned. This one pulled foul, 1-2. It's the last of a 4-year deal for Cruz, and he is the only player in the big leagues with 35 or more home runs in each of the last 5 seasons. 1-2 pitch, and it's fouled back toward us, just short. So the fact that he's the only guy who's been able to do that the last 5 years, that's pretty good. And only 5 players who have ever done that. And he chases one in the dirt and strikes out 2 in the inning. So 1-2-3, 4th inning for Hirano. He continues to cruise.
He is looking really sharp tonight. Does a nice job here of finishing off Nelson Cruz after some fastballs. Goes to the breaking ball out of the zone and gets Cruz to chase it.
Well, MLB at bat, your #1 Rangers app. Customize your experience. Take advantage of a lot of great features like the MLB.TV Game of the Day. Download MLB at bat today. All right, Ronald Guzman will lead things off in the 5th inning for the Rangers. And puts the first one in the air, foul down the left side and just into the seats. Only 3 hits in this game, 2 for the Rangers, 1 for the Mariners. So some good pitching. We'll start this series tonight. Rangers going with a very young lineup. Ryan Rua, the oldest player in the lineup at 28 years old. And this one again popped up back behind the plate and into the seats. Guzman, 23 years old. And this is rookie year. 16 home runs.
Talked about that, tied for the most that he has ever had at any level in his career.
This one lined out to left field, and a diving catch by Negron. That one was sinking and slicing toward the corner, and he just made an absolutely impeccable read on that one.
I did a great job. I thought this was going to get down and get past him and potentially be a triple. Ronald Guzman not too happy about it, but this is a nice play. As you mentioned, when that comes off the left-handed bat, it's also fading away from him as it's sinking. Looked like he might have dove a little bit early, but you see he's got the hand down and gets the full extension. Marco Gonzalez says thank you
Touchdown,
very much.
6 points.
That's a good play. I thought he was missing that for sure. I thought he started diving too early. That was going to be potentially a triple for Ronald Guzman. He is not happy.
Now that is a big-time play. 1 away here in the 5th inning. Calhoun pops this one foul out of play. So everybody sporting some sort of distinguishing garment today on this Rangers team. And Willie communicating non-verbally today with his socks. I think he's the only one sporting these things tonight. These are impressive.
Captain America socks?
Yeah.
Texas, I know.
1-1. And this one out towards center field. Haniger started in, now angles back. And there are 2 gone. Those are sweet, though.
They are very cool. Well, the options that these guys have these days, I mean, there was organizations not too long ago where everybody had to have their pants the same height if you wanted to wear socks. It just had to be one solid color. Old days are over.
Hands are Alberto, and he hits this ball well out to left field. Negron angling to his left, though, pulls it in. And it's a 1-2-3 top of the fifth. We're halfway there tonight. Still no score. For the Mariners. And a look at our progressive upcoming schedule. And yeah, that is it. That's the entire schedule. Tomorrow, same time, same place. Saturday, an hour earlier. And then Sunday, everybody in Major League Baseball playing at the same time to wrap up the 2018 season.
How cool is that camera? You a little creeped out, though, if you're out there in that section?
Probably, yeah.
This feels like it's a boom, right, or whatever, but what do you call it? Jib, thank you. Jib camera. Looks like it would be a drone. It's not. That's the camera I told you. That's what we need for the kids' games. So you can get your hands on that jib on wheels where you can work up and down the sidelines. When you talk about some home movies. Cool. They're probably what, $100?
I can't imagine it's too expensive. Somebody like you. Fouled out of play. There it is. It just dangles off the edge of a long stick. You've got a long stick,
yeah.
right?
And then it comes with weights if you want to work out in between or during commercials.
Yeah.
What's your bench?
1-1. And that one a little low. 2-1 to Kyle Seager.
Well, I feel like Steven Spielberg would do that for his kids' games, right? A huge production.
I like to think. I mean, you're a handy guy. I saw the the batting cage that you built in your backyard. It doesn't exist anymore.
No, it's still there. It just had
really?
to be reconstructed after some snow. A little bit of an issue.
3-1 to count.
Some heavy snow that we had in Georgia.
It's a heck of a unit.
Put my guy in tears, man. He was crying. Those were 4x8 posts that were 6 feet in the ground that snapped in half. It's a lot of snow.
And this ball popped straight up on the left side of the infield, and Profar is there for it. One away. Time for a Chevy game break. Let's check in with Dana Larson.
Man, oh man.
I love it.
Which fan base you think of the postseason contenders is panicking the most right now? You think it's the Dodgers? Yankee fans probably not feeling too comfortable despite their win total.
All right, we've spent enough time in L.A. I don't feel like people in L.A. panic over anything.
They get kind of angry. I've seen them on social media. They get worked up.
Well, social media is a real good barometer.
Yeah, that's why I go to get real
people.
Temperature of the people.
I think Chicago fans, I think
really?
Cubs fans are probably the most on edge. They tend to be a little jittery by nature, and I think with the expectations what they are and the situation as it is, I think they've got to be a little bit uptight. This ball in the air out to left field and hanging up there, slicing into Calhoun. And there are 2 away.
Colorado continues to throw the ball well. You see 65 total pitches now as we take a look at what he has done by inning, but it has been really no theatrics. We're from 12 to 16 in his full 4 innings so far, and he's thrown 9 and got himself a couple of outs here in the 5th, and he has still got a couple of hitters before he gets all the way to the bottom of the order. So if he can get through Zunino.
Another fly ball out to left field. Calhoun. Yeah. Getting it done here in the 5th inning. Another 1-2-3 for Ariel Jurado. We go to the 6th inning, scoreless.
Local GMC dealer today.
Well, neither team able to get anything going offensively so far tonight. And we go to the 6th inning. Our who's in, who's out pitching change. Sponsored by In-N-Out Burger. So, the man who's in, James Pazos, Marco Gonzalez, out after 5 innings.
He had a good run, too. I mean, it was 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. But you take a look at the numbers for Pazos. They have been very good. Game number 58 for him, and a very nice 2.87 ERA for the Mariners left-hander. The splits have actually favored right-handed hitters so far. The lefties this season hitting .265 against Pazos. The righties hitting .232. You'll see a pretty good fastball that is averaged 94 miles an hour, and a slider that's averaged 79 miles per hour. Simple two-pitch mix.
So top of the order, Gonzalez went through the Rangers twice. A couple of hits, walked a batter, but that was it. And they will not allow him to get a third look at anybody in the order. So Pazos here.
September thing, or just late in the year. Last start of the season, obviously. Finish on a good note. He had a really good September. Gonzalez had really struggled in August. But September's been a really nice bounce back season, or excuse me, month. He had a 10.35 ERA in August, 2.25 in September, coming into this one.
1 strike on Odor, who has one of the Rangers' 2 hits. Just squibbed one out into left field with a pretty substantial shift on against him. 1-1. That's very high. You see the shift here, and Seager, when he got the hit in the 3rd inning, Seager was shaded a little more towards short. And it compensated just a touch in this at bat, and the 2-1 from Pazos. High pop up out into short left field. Negron coming way in, and there is one away. Well, we mentioned the final season at Globe Life Park next year. Full and half-season tickets on sale now. And as a season ticket holder next season, you'll secure your place in line for season tickets on the new Globe Life Field, which opens in 2020. Get your tickets at texasrangers.com/seasons or call 972-RANGERS to learn more. 1 out for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. And he hits this ball hard down to 3rd. Right there for Seager. 2 away. Been one of those nights. Hard hit balls right at guys.
And a lot of quick outs too, right?
Yeah.
Some balls that we've seen hit in the outfield early that look like they might have had a little bit more carry on them. You see Kyle Seager perfectly placed for this line shot off the bat of Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Absolutely smokes it. But unfortunately, right to Seager, really didn't have to move much at all.
So 2 gone for Nomar Mazara. He struck out and flied out 0 for 2. Pazos up high with ball 1. And it's funny, Gonzalez had started 4 team shutouts this year, including his last start, which was in Arlington last Saturday. And so here we are again in another shutout as he turns it over to Pazos. 2-0. It just seems to be his mode this year. He's done a nice job, and Pazos done a good job out of the bullpen. They have a nice pin here in Seattle. Especially at the beginning of the year, that was a real strength for them. But it looked like they might well break their long stretch of missing the postseason. That's not going to happen this year. 2-1.
I think they'll be certainly a curious team to watch this offseason, how active they are. You see Scott Service, the manager here with the Seattle Mariners. I mean, it's just almost a given, right, that they're going to be active. It's just a matter of to what depth. Jerry DePoto, the general manager here, has made quite a few trades. They were aggressive early when they went out and they got Colomé and Span from the Tampa Bay Rays, trying to stay ahead of the curve a little bit as far as strengthening that bullpen. Nelson Cruz is a free agent. We talked about that. What Robinson Cano's role will be, where he'll play next year, first base, second base, DH. I guess they got to decide. I mean, is D. Gordon, they're better off with him being their center fielder? Are they better off with him at second if Cano were to play first?
What would you do? I mean,
it all depends on what they're going to add. If they can't bring Nelson Cruz back, or if they see Ryan Healy as their steady first baseman, then I think D. Gordon probably has to be in the outfield full time.
2, and that one bounced up the middle and through a base hit. Third hit of the night for the Rangers. And easily the hardest base hit of the night for the Rangers.
Good job by Nomar to stay right back up the middle on this breaking ball. That's not easy to do. Even though you see a breaking ball that's high in the zone like that, Nomar did his best to stay inside and get something behind this one as he hits it right back up the box. If you're got a hip that's flying open and you're looking at dead pull than a hanging breaking ball, you're going to have a better chance at maybe getting to it. But when you have that Nomar Mazara swing where you're staying in the middle of the field, that one was almost too high to do some damage against.
So a base runner now for Jurickson Profar, who has walked and struck out. That one fouled away. It's 0-2. Profar swings and misses at strike 3, and so Pazos comes in and falls right in line with everybody else. A scoreless top of the 6th for him. Looking ahead to tomorrow, our forward pitching probables. Martin Perez will make his final start of the year for the Rangers, and he's done a nice job since jumping back in the rotation. Wade LeBlanc will take the ball for the Mariners. 1-1 record, a 2.76 ERA in his last 3 starts. Now Lorado puts the first one in there for a strike to Ben Gamble now. This is the 8th place hitter, Gamble. Flied out in the 3rd inning. 1-1 the count. It'll be interesting to see with the way Lorado is throwing the baseball tonight, how far they allow him to go. 1-2 the count. Because once he's done with Gamble and then Negron, who's waiting on deck, then you know, we're talking about the 3rd time through the order. Southwest Airlines bullpen live look. Might be giving us some indication. Matt Moore getting ready out there.
So I would say, based on the lineup, that you would look at Gerardo having the next 4 hitters. Robinson Cano would be the 5th, and that's most likely when we would see Matt Moore. Appears to be kind of headed toward that pace. He made that call down Wakamatsu, Doug Roquel, whoever gets on the phone. If that's the strategy, Matt Moore up for Cano is the message that they deliver to the bullpen, so he can pace himself accordingly. Or if they're worried about a pinch hitter, which you wouldn't see for Haniger, I don't think, or Segura.
Well, roll around into right field for Gamble, and the Mariners have just their 2nd hit of the night, their 2nd base runner of the evening.
Well, ground ball to the right side. It was well hit. Let's take a look at the pitch here, and the pitch ended up going over the middle. They were trying to get that slider in. And so that gave Gamble an opportunity to get the ball into right field. So a little bit of leadoff runner and a little bit of, I won't say a jam just yet, but for Gerardo now, because the order gets turned over, this becomes a really important at bat for him against Negron.
And this one lined over first, but foul. Negron, you know, hasn't had a whole lot of time. The average with that strikeout dipped below 300 to 292. Gamble has 7 steals and 10 tries this year, so don't keep an eye on him. bluff. Now the throw back down to first. And Campbell gets back in there. Not sure what he was doing.
Well, sometimes you'll get the fake break, or it could be where he thought he had a jump and then changed his mind. Take a look at here how this went. So the fake break is sometimes to try to get a catcher to come out of his crouch a little bit early. And you do that when you're anticipating maybe a slider that's going to be below the zone, or even in the case of Gerardo, two-seam fastball.
Now bouncer up the middle. Quick step on the bag for one. The throw to first. In time double play. Good positioning for Hanser Alberto, and able to turn in the 6 unassisted to 3 twin killing.
A really good job by Alberto, because that one wasn't hit very hard. And so the idea of making sure you catch this ball first, really good two-seam fastball in on the hand. So watch it here. You don't want to panic. You don't want to try to rush that throw. You got to wait till that ball gets there before you field it and step on the back. So it's great timing, great patience. And now if Gerardo can finish Haniger off, take a look at it right here. See that two-seam fastball run in. Good job by Gerardo to pull the glove back too. You see him start to reach for it. See those turn into a disaster once in a while, but if he can finish off Haniger, I'd say that probably would signify the end of his evening, and this would be a pretty tremendous one for Gerardo.
Well, he's still under 80 pitches for the night. And he has faced one over the minimum. The 1-1 pitch, that is outside, 2-1. So twice this year he's gone 6 innings. August 16th, the most recent occasion against the Angels. Also did it at Houston in late July. And a little tapper toward third. Backhand, and the throw from Profar got away. And this one into the seats. So Haniger goes to second base. Profar got his feet tangled up and had a little trouble getting the ball out of the glove. And once that happened, you almost feel like you've seen it before.
Everything kind of sped up on him a little bit, and the way that he fielded this ball off to the side, I think you're right. He fielded it a little bit awkwardly. I don't think he expected that ball to spin away. It looked like it may have a little bit on Jurickson Profar. Let's take a look here. Watch how he turns side. See how he catches that off to the side a little bit, and there's a little stutter in the glove, and that could have been on the exchange. We mentioned this earlier. He made a nice play on a ball where he didn't have time to hold the ball like this. See that right there? That little kind of tap. Timing mechanism might have got him jacked up a little bit. Unfortunately, the throwing errors have just been a little bit of an issue for Jurickson Profar this year.
Yeah, but a weak tapper back to the mound, and safe to say that Gene Segura was willing to accept the out. He hardly left the batter's box. Yikes. Inning over. Mariners leave a man, and it's now the 7th inning with no score. Inning. And you can show your spirit year-round. Stock up on Rangers gear at our team stores. Visit the Rangers team store in Fort Worth at Sundance Square. Or just come on down to the ballpark, the majestic Grand Slam gift shop inside Globe Life Park. Hours and store info available online at texasrangers.com/retail. Who knows the variety of stocking caps you might find there.
They don't have game-used hats like that, do they? Probably not.
Who?
Game-used
Nah, probably
caps?
not. Probably not.
I'm going to stay away from those.
Zach Duke.
I wouldn't wear yours, at least.
New pitcher here in the 7th inning.
You see the overall numbers for Zach Duke, that ERA, just under 4, barely. So these last 4 days for him, doing everything he can not to let up an earned run so he can have that 3 ERA, 47 strikeouts on the season. 224 against lefties. He has struggled, though, against those righties. 310 batting average for right-handed hitters this year. That Profar error, by the way, number 25 for him on the season. He was already leading Major League Baseball by 1. The Rangers have made 114 errors, which means that Jurickson Profar has committed 22% of the Rangers' errors this year. Better than 1/5.
It's the one thing that does give you a little pause with the season this year for Profar. Of those errors, the percentage that are throwing errors,
it's 19,
is just remarkable. Yeah.
Look at it. We've seen guys go through it before. And remember, too, multiple positions for those throwing errors. Third base, I think, where most of them have come, but you got shortstop, second base as well. He may be a guy from that standpoint, as much as we love the flexibility that he has, perhaps. throwing from the same position much more regularly could work to his advantage. Maybe gets a little bit more confidence.
Ball and 2 strikes on Gallo. And he takes outside, 2-2. Gallo with a strikeout and a ground out. Rangers so far tonight with 3 hits. Oh, this one pops straight up in the air down the left field line. Long run again for Negron, and that one continuing to move away from him. Wow. Well, he stayed with that a long time, and there was a point at which he just assumed he was going to get there to make the catch, but the ball just kept moving and moving further and further away from him.
It certainly did, and this was in the air a long time. It's an uncomfortable run for an outfielder. You feel like you're running forever and feeling like you got to be getting close to that wall. And especially with the shift, right? I mean, where they are.
So it stays 2-2 on Gallo. Rangers have, they've had some trouble on the road offensively. In fact, their team average on the road is, I think, 223, lowest in baseball. This one bounced down to first base, and Vogelbach will take care of it himself. 1 away.
Well, time now for our Coors Light refreshing finish, and finishing off his outing, Ariel Jurado did a nice job in that last inning. Got the ground ball, good double play turn there by Hanser Alberto, and then after the error from Jurickson Profar, this beautiful 2-seam fastball, and for Gene Segura walking away shaking his hand, because that is getting in somebody's kitchen and hurting some thumbs. That's a good 2-seamer. And this outing for me, watching Jurado tonight, was 6 innings of work, but not only just that it was 6 innings, but kind of effortless, right? Pretty smooth, really never in any kind of danger. For me, was very reminiscent of that outing that we saw him have against the Houston Astros. He went through that lineup. It was no Carlos Correa and no Jose Altuve, but still a good lineup that they have there in Houston. He just looked locked in, and the 2-seam fastball was on. That was his 2nd start of the year. He went 6 innings, had 2 hits allowed in that one with a couple of strikeouts, and only threw 76 pitches. And that's what you can get when he gets on a roll and he's getting contact like that, and the 2-seamer is on. You can expect those kinds of outings. Very, very similar outings outside of the fact that he allowed the 1 run in Houston that was on a home run. 80 pitches, 51 strikes.
This one out to the gap in right center field, gets down and rolls to the wall. Rua cruises to second base, and he's in there with a 1-out double. For the Rangers, that's the first time, or rather the 2nd time today they've gotten a man to second base.
Good job here by Ryan Rua. Watch this pitch here against the lefty. Down, good looking little slider, but he stays inside it and drives it to right center field. Mentioned for Duke the struggles against right-handers this year. And Ryan Rua continues to add to those struggles.
So with 1 out, man in scoring position for Guzman, and he'll take a little bit in. And Guzman is grounded out to second, and he's lined out to left field, and he was absolutely robbed in the 5th inning on a spectacular defensive play by Christopher Negron. And this one is through and into center field. That's a base hit. Rua around third, he'll score. An RBI single for Guzman, and the Rangers get the first run of the game tonight. It comes in the 7th inning on a Guzman single, his 58th RBI, and it's 1-0.
Good for Ronald Guzman after getting robbed so badly in his last at-bat, and this pitch was supposed to be in 90 miles an hour, and it split the plate. And a good job by Guzman to be all over that fastball and drive it to right center field, drive that run in. That had to feel good after getting robbed in his last at-bat.
So there you go. Zach Duke allows the first run of the game, and Willie Calhoun takes one in the dirt. Calhoun, the 8th place hitter. Strikeout and a fly out tonight for Willie. And Duke gets him to wave and miss at that one. It's 1-1. Duke, a long look at first, comes to the plate. That one fouled away. Ball and 2 strikes. Today is the anniversary of the Rangers' first ever clinch of a postseason spot, 1996. And it's funny because we talked about this the other day about ways in which teams sometimes clinch. And you mentioned one of the tougher ways is when it's like a back end, right? Because your magic number is 1 and the other team loses. And then the worst case would be then if you actually lost that night and had to celebrate. And that was the case, nearly 25 years as a franchise. And there they were, finally clinched, a game that went extra innings. And they found out like in the 13th inning that they were in, and then ended up losing it in the 15th inning as Calhoun goes down looking for out number 2. Dave Burchett was there, probably the first man to crack open a cold beverage after that game and celebrate with everybody. Got to believe Dave was leading that whole celebration.
Could have been.
Now here comes Scott Service to take the baseball. So Zach Duke is done. Got 2 outs, but gave up the 1 run in this game tonight. And it's going to be up to the Mariners bullpen to keep it a 1-run game when we return.
Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer during the Ford SUV season. Ford is the best in Texas. And by the new Shiner Wicked Juicy IPA.
Well, 1-0, Rangers with the lead. They have broken through at long last in this 7th inning. Beautiful night here at Safeco Field. And with the 9th place hitter, Hanser Alberto, coming in. Armstrong takes over on the mound. The 4th pitcher of the night for Seattle. And that one right in there for a strike.
And the first right-hander that the Rangers will see, and it's game number 13. It's been a really good run so far for Sean Armstrong. 13 strikeouts to 2 walks in his 13 in the 3rd innings. He's got a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, cutter at 90, and a curveball at 85.
This one lifted out to right field. That one hanging up a little bit, and it will get down right up near the wall and bounce out. An automatic double, and that's going to cost the Rangers a run. Guzman has to go back to 3rd base on the Alberto double.
Yeah, unfortunate break there, but nice job by Hanser Alberto. Much more impressive than the other hit that we saw him get in the 3rd inning. That broken bat, 60-mile-an-hour base hit. No, was it 41? Either way, this one hit much harder. Good job on a 91-mile-an-hour cutter that was down and away. Bad break on the bounce.
So with 2nd and 3rd base occupied, they intentionally walked Rougned Odor. He is aboard now. The bases are loaded for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa with 2 out. And Sean Armstrong will instead deal with the right-handed hitter. Isaiah today 0 for 3. First pitch misses wildly outside.
Armstrong had some really good numbers in AAA as well. We showed you what he's done so far in the big leagues. 49 games pitched in AAA for the Mariners, a 1.77 ERA, 13.2 strikeouts per 9. He was crushing it in the minor leagues.
1-1. So looking around the bases, Guzman at 3rd, Hanser Alberto at 2nd, Odor after the walk at 1st base. A run in this inning. And Armstrong's 1-1. This one fouled on the right side. Ball girl Good hustle out there.
And you backhand it in that spot and really just want to keep it in front of you. It's going to be a tough throw anyway. So make sure you knock it down, prevent that run from second scoring, even with 2 outs. Just knowing the situation.
One, two. Well, off the handle foul. Kind of Falefa fights off another one. Weren't we talking about this the other day about guys just spoiling a pitch to get another?
Mm-hmm.
And it was suggested that nobody really does that.
Yeah, gosh, I wish I could remember where I saw that.
I've taken that question around the clubhouse.
Yeah.
And the theory holds up. Whoa, that one way in and got Kiner Falefa off the helmet. Fortunately, a glancing shot. And so we'll head down to first. That hit by pitch drives in a run. It's 2-0.
I think it was another cutter from Armstrong. This one just got away from him. You know, we saw those pitches throughout this at-bat that had been up and in to Kiner Falefa. Looked like they were trying to go there again. That might have been a straight fastball, actually. And they know he's got the short swing, and so they didn't want to give him anything away where he can get his arms extended. So they were pounding him in. It looked like that went helmet and maybe bat afterwards.
There you go. Got the RBI. It's got to be a little difficult. Take a few minutes for the adrenaline to maybe amp down just a touch after that. Well, he hopped right up, though, and headed out there. Fortunately, not hurt in that transaction, and he picks up what is his 34th RBI of the year. Now the bases are loaded for Nomar Mazara.
And that run, of course, is charged to Zach Duke. Close the book on him. 2/3 of an inning. 2 earned runs.
Still 2 away, and the pitch from Armstrong. That one in there for a strike. It's been a quiet game offensively for both sides. And a smaller crowd, under 16,000 announced as the paid crowd tonight. This one tapped foul. It's 0-2. But the Rangers have done some damage here in the 7th. And could really deliver a big blow right here. And again, you see Alberto, Odor, Kiner Falefa, 3rd to 1st. 1-2. Nomar had the big year last year with the 100 RBIs. This year, not as many in that regard. I mean, 76 coming into play tonight. Still, though, the power has been there. 20 home runs again. And he'll take wide. It's 2-2.
Good opportunity here for Nomar. I think 2-2 count for Armstrong. Even though the walk rate has been good so far at the big league level, he did struggle a little bit in AAA. 4.2 walks per 9. That's well below league average. And he certainly does not want to go to a full count, so there could be an opportunity here for Nomar Mazara to get something in the zone to drive.
Just gets a piece. So as I was mentioning,
yeah,
I didn't talk to every single Ranger about this, but talked to a handful of them, including the one guy who I figured would side with me on this one, who is Chu. I figured surely there have been some pitches that he has just intentionally shot foul just so he get another. I said, no, not really. It's like, really, you're reacting. You're trying to do your best with any one of them. And there's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Mazara strikes out. The inning is done. But the Rangers get it started with a Guzman RBI single to center field. That was the first run of the game. They'd get 2 in the inning. 7th inning in Texas high school football, as many of you know, very much in full swing. Football Friday, powered by Dave Campbell's Texas Football, brings you the most comprehensive coverage of Texas high school football. Join us at 8 o'clock on Fox Sports Southwest Plus or live stream on Fox Sports Go every Friday night. Now see, there's a guy who has embraced the cooler weather. It's not that cold. It's really comfy. And of course, you have the jersey. You want to show it off.
Of course. You could go sleeves underneath. You could still go hat, but you can't cover the jersey when you're a fan in the visiting city, right?
Nope.
You don't get very many opportunities to bust it out, at least not with relevancy.
Cano, Cruz, and Seager in the 7th inning, and Matt Moore takes over in the 7th inning for Gerardo. And runs that one inside for a ball. 2-0.
Take a look at the numbers here for Matt Moore. Game number 37 for him. His 82 strikeouts in his 98 in the 3rd inning so far. Matt Moore's fastball's been averaging 92. The curveball's been good. That's the key pitch for him.
Fly ball out there to left of center field and tracked down easily by DeShields. That is out number 1. Delano taking over for Ryan Rua this inning.
So Rua went to left, and Delano actually came in for Willie Calhoun, who is now out of the game.
I didn't say that Rua left the game.
There he is right there. Oh. Good point. That's all right, because I actually said that DeShields was in for Joey Gallo. That was incorrect, but I did the smart thing. I didn't say it out loud in my microphone. I pushed my button so only people could hear me in the truck.
You just wanted to let them know.
Sort of. I let them know wrongly.
Well, Cruz shoots this one down the right side. Foul. With some decent action down in that section tonight. 0-2. Count on Nelson Cruz. More up and away with that one. Wouldn't get him to chase. Cruz has popped up and struck out. The Mariners have been held to just 2 hits tonight. There's a swing and a miss. Cruz strikes out and doesn't bother trying to run down to first base. 2 away. Time for a Chevy game break. Let's check in again. Late nights with Dana Larson. Yeah, so that's a big one tonight for Chicago. A little more comfortable, no doubt, after that one. Check swing, and that one fouled away by Seager. Seager 0 for 2, a strikeout and a pop out. Here's a roller near second base. Handled by Alberto, and it's another 1-2-3 inning. Well, the Rangers have really taken care of business so far tonight, leading 2-0. And when we come back, Jurickson Profar to start the 8th.
And it's the young guys getting it done. Ronald Guzman with this base hit, scoring Ryan Rua, who had a double earlier in the inning. And then with the bases loaded, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa took a fastball off the helmet. You see Ronald Guzman scoring easily on that hit by pitch, and fortunately for Isaiah, he was smiling afterwards, and so he was okay. And those are the 2 runs that have been scored in this game. It is 2-0 with the Rangers leading, and now Nick Vincent, the right-hander, will come out of the Seattle Mariners bullpen. Game number 61 for the right-hander. Nice ratio there of 54 strikeouts and 54 in the 3rd innings for Nick Vincent. Don't throw particularly hard. Fastballs average 90 miles an hour. He's got a cutter at 88. You'll see a curveball and a changeup as well.
Well, great start to this series tonight. Rangers in front 2-0. Heart of the order, Profar, Gallo, and Rua do this inning. Jerkson with a couple of strikeouts is also walked. Two 2-0. Now the Mariners came into this series with 86 victories. 86 and 72, and no chance of advancing to the postseason. And so their long stretch of not playing in the month of October extended another year. They have the longest postseason drought in sport. At least in
sport, all sport?
In sport.
Really?
In the NFL, NHL, NBA, or Major League Baseball. I think there was a real strong feeling this was going to be the year where they put an end to that. There's ball 4. Profar walks for the second time tonight.
Was it 2001? Was that the last time they were in the postseason?
Yeah. All they did that year was won 116 games. Well, a runner on now after the walk to Profar. Here's Gallo. And we talk about the shifts a lot with Joey and how teams choose to play him. And Seattle certainly willing to employ a dramatic shift against him. And you see right there why. He's yanked that one down the line foul. But look where Seager is placed at third baseman.
It could be an opportunity. Remember, on ground balls, it's important for somebody to cover third. A lot of confusion sometimes in these situations where there could be an opportunity for Profar to take third.
1-2. Well, that seems like a lot.
It is a lot, and the Rangers have been, unfortunately, on the wrong end of that as far as losing those hits to the shift. This man, Joey Gallo, we mentioned it earlier. He's 5th overall in baseball. He's lost 26. Nomar Mazara is tied with him. He's also lost 26 hits. But in the American League, nobody has lost more than Kyle Seager, the third baseman here for the Seattle Mariners.
Well, this one high in the air to the left side. And Negron takes care of that easily for out number 1. All right, let's pause for a moment to check it again with the folks over at Kia.
At Kia, get America's best value backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
So I told you, Nomar Mazara and Joey Gallo, 26 hits apiece. Ruben Odor has lost 24. So just between those 3 guys, they have lost, what, 76 hits? 76 hits between the 3 of them. Now, Rugi has gained 10 hits against the shift, as Nomar. And Joey has gained 8. There are situations where they end up benefiting from the shift. Ground ball that would have otherwise been an out. And these numbers, I would always parse this to let you know that it's not 100% accurate, but they have, Inside Edge has eyeballs on all the games. They go back and watch them, double check, triple check, and they do their best to get you those numbers and get you an accurate count on what would have been an out, what would have been a hit based on the shift.
A little bit low, 1-1 to Rua. Do you suppose they ever have, like, extended arguments over a particular play?
There's certainly arguments to be had, I think, without a doubt, because there are some. It depends on, you have to look at it. It's okay, is it, if the average shortstop was playing in the standard position, he would have got that?
Another towering fly ball. And this one will be handled by Haniger.
What if you're playing the Angels? And you say, okay, well, no. If Anderson Simmons, it was against the Angels, that probably would have been out. It's going to be a tough call.
Right.
But if you're playing, I don't know, whoever has the the shortstop with the least amount of range in the game right now, and if it was that guy,
Marcus Semien.
if you sit there and if you do it that way, I don't know if that's how they do it.
Yeah, it's got some shortcomings.
Yeah, it's definitely not perfect, and they know that. But I think it does give us a pretty good idea of what's going on with these shifts and who's getting hurt the most. If you have the same people doing it for the entire league, at least you know there's going to be some consistency to it. There's a Ranger fan coming through big.
Boy, I mean, that's not a beer that he was, you know, potentially going to drop. That's a real expensive camera that he was putting on the line there.
First, I thought he was getting a high five from a random Mariners fan, but no. It's a seat partner.
Came together. Looks like she might be taking some heat from some of the locals, too. 0-2 the count on Guzman.
Oh, look at that. She didn't even take the foul ball. What does she want with a Ranger foul ball? She said no thanks.
That runner goes. And this one down the first baseline, just foul. Profile that time was going to try and swipe one. Had a big jump, too. Guzman had the RBI single last inning to break the scoreless tie and then would score the second run himself. And he swings and misses here. This strikeout ends the inning. All right, bottom of the 8th on the way. Rangers lead 2-0. As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. And we'll see the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Mariners. And before we get things started, Don Wakamatsu out to the mound, and Matt Moore won't throw a pitch in the 8th. Haven't seen that move in a while.
I was going to say, yeah, it's been definitely a few minutes.
Connor Sadzik coming on out of the pen. Scene here, downtown Seattle. Inside here, though, odd. We came back this inning. Matt Moore was warming up, and before he threw a pitch, Don Wakamatsu out to take him out of the game, and Connor Sadzik came on. And I feel like, well, number one, we haven't seen that, and number two, that there's a reason we haven't seen that.
Yeah, they changed it. Well, I think it was 2 years ago, wasn't it? I don't think we saw it last year either, where you cannot take a pitcher out in that kind of situation to start an inning unless there's a pinch hitter that is announced, and Ryan Healy is that pinch hitter that was announced, and so that allowed this move to be made, which, you know, makes perfect sense. The idea of forcing Matt Moore to face a right-handed pinch hitter in a tight game certainly wouldn't be fair. But if you're going to make that change and there wasn't a pinch hitter, you have to do it before he goes out there to take the mound.
Well, Ryan Healy, the pinch hitter for Vogelback, and the first pitch from Sadzik, that went in there at 99 miles per hour.
That's been a good start so far. Outside of the walks, everything else has been really good for Connor Sadzik. Game number 12, he's got himself 5 strikeouts in 8 1/3, and you saw the fastball there can get up to 99, 100 miles per hour. It's a good one. Breaking pitches also really good for Connor so far this season. So like that slider and the curveball. I think he's starting to get more and more comfortable. You can kind of see it a little bit in his body language.
And even, I would say this, even as we've seen that maturity over the short time he's been here, and that comfort level starting to grow, I would think next year you'll see an even larger jump. In some ways, I guess I look at it the same way that we've seen that with Jose Leclerc. Leclerc has been, I think he was confident last year. I think he's extraordinarily confident this year. There's a big strikeout for Sadzik.
How about this? They're trying to go up and in, and they do. Look at that thing run in to the hands of Ryan Healy. My goodness. High velocity. It's late moving. Now, we have seen once in a while with Connor where that he'll miss a little bit to that arm side. Well, it'll get away from him just a little bit. Really important that he stays through all his pitches, like that one right there, and it gets a good carry through the glove at 99 miles an hour. I think every once in a while you get the impression maybe he's overthrown just a little bit, not too much, but when he does, that's when the ball starts to sail arm side and in a little bit further than he would like to right-handed hitters.
Strike pitch to Zunino. Just missed the corner. 1-1.
Zunino was lined out and flied out today. 0 for 2.
That's a good example of it right there.
Well, he just did hold off. 2-1. Let's see.
That's, ooh, I'll tell you what.
As
That looked
close
like
as
the
you get.
offense. Yeah.
Sadzik's 2-1. And that one bounces away.
Remember, too, you mentioned Jose Leclerc is kind of a comp. They're different kind of pitchers, but
For sure.
as far as the idea of where they are from service time standpoint and what part of their career that they're in and trying to establish themselves. You know, with Jose Leclerc early on, we saw some struggles with walks, right, in the zone. That was the one issue with him going back to 2016. He had 13 walks in 15 innings. Last year, the walk rate was still pretty high. And this year, he's done a really nice job.
Bounce from third, just foul. Profar was ready to make the play.
So I think that same story for Jose Leclerc in 2016, 2017. The only thing that was getting in his way was the command in the walks. And I think for Connor, as he gets a few more big league innings under his belt, I think that's his story right now, but certainly something that he'll be able to work through. And when he does, he is going to be a huge impact arm. And the idea of him setting up Jose Leclerc, something you could see as a nice combination for the next few years.
One in the dirt, Zunino takes a walk.
And think about this, you have 6 more years of control on Connor Sadzik after this one, right? Obviously just a partial year of service time. Jose Leclerc will have 4 more years of control after this. Sure, you could see those guys being that 8th and 9th inning combination, although we've seen Connor also be used as the opener. But I really like him in this role, especially once he gets that command under control.
Gamble 1 for 2. Man at first, 1 out. And Sadzik's first pitch off the plate. .97 miles per hour there. It's 1-1. Rangers have turned 1 double play tonight. That was in the 6th inning. Only allowed 2 hits on a total of 4 base runners. That walk to Zunino, the first of the night. Haniger had reached on an error earlier. Now the count 1-2 on Ben Gamble. Tight, 2-2. Game time tonight, it was 67 degrees. And it feels like it's starting to cool down a little bit. Saw a lot of the guys prepared for it with a lot of warm clothes tonight. And a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Gamble strikes out for the 2nd out of the inning. Of course, Emily Jones brought a lot of warm clothes, but left the back of the hotel.
I did. They're all nicely placed in the hotel. Thank goodness for Brandon Boyd.
They're nice and warm.
Yes. It's not that cold. It's not that bad. You guys talked a little bit earlier about Connor Sadzik fitting into the clubhouse scene, getting acclimated with Major League life, and he's fitting in so nicely that he's getting razzed by veteran teammates like Giovanni Gallardo, who filled me in on a little secret that Connor apparently has an affinity for expensive wine.
Whoa.
I guess Giovanni.
That's your new bestie.
Yes. So I was like, well, next time invite me. But yeah, Giovanni said that they went out and it was a little pricey on the wine selection.
It's funny that story would come to you. A little pop-up ends the inning, and another man left for the Mariners. It's 2-0 Rangers to the 9th. Here in Seattle.
right underneath. We go to the 9th inning, 2-0 the score. Hey, play our Football Friday Pick'em contest. Match wits with our Texas high school football experts. Each week, our experts will make their picks. You can try to beat them and win prizes. Download the Football Friday app and play our Pick'em contest all season long.
So what's cool about that Space Needle,
Yeah.
that could have been like a fake, like a miniature one, right? If you light it right, that would be pretty cool. You never know.
You would like that, yeah.
Come on, that could be made of tin.
Little model.
And be like 6 inches tall. You don't know.
Well, as we go to the 9th inning, Ryan Cook will check in the game for Seattle.
Game number 19 for Ryan. Good strikeouts to innings, 23 of those in his 16 innings worth of work. Better than the 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Fastball, slider, changeup that you'll see from the right-hander. Fastball's been averaging 94 miles an hour so far this season. And even though it's only 16 innings, when you look at the batting averages, lefties 261, righties have hit 216.
Span was waiting on deck when that last inning ended and comes in the game for Negron, so he'll take over out there and lead off when we come back. And Delano DeShields will take a strike here from Cook. No, pardon me, Span made the last out a moment ago. Pitch high, 1-1 to Delano. Shields, his first at bat of the night. Takes on the inside corner, 1-2.
So I was left still kind of wondering a little bit about that story with Connor Sadzik and Giovanni Gallardo. Was it intentionally that he was ordering expensive wine, or maybe he didn't know and he didn't care? Because I'm pretty confident that Gallardo was paying. Gallardo knew when he saw the bill. You know what I mean? Like, there's a couple different ways that could have went down. Maybe he has great taste in expensive wine, or maybe he was just pointing to the wine list and be like, yeah, he's paying, we'll take that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm guessing he would, you know.
Think he knows what he's talking about?
Yeah, that's a good question, right? That's a good question. Emily, you get any further intel on that?
Well, yeah, so I guess Giovanni took him out to dinner on the road one time, and he put Connor in charge of selecting the wine, or Connor insisted, and he selected a pricey bottle.
Nice.
But I will say this, though, in Connor's defense, he was not shying away from it. He was not shying away from it at all. I think the word Giovanni used was bougie.
Ooh.
And Connor just kind of wore it. He was like, look, I like good wine, so sue me.
Nice.
Especially when someone else is paying for it.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Good for him throwing it out there right away. I like it. We'll take that one. You can put that on the Gardo bill. That's wonderful.
Charge it to the underhands. Count stays 0-2 on Hanser Alberto. Interesting night tonight. Both starting pitchers were great. And we have seen a lot of the Mariners bullpen, and that's where the Rangers have broken through. And this one bounced into right field, and a one-out single for Alberto.
It's time for Built for Baseball, Dave Raymond, and it is brought to you by T-Mobile. And why not go ahead and let Hanser Alberto have it after this rip to the first base side of the infield. Gets himself that base hit. This one, though, was ripped to right center field. That automatic double that bounced over the wall, and then he's done a nice job defensively filling in for Elvis Andrews at short. And then how about third base hit of the night right here? Good job taking the sinker ball pitcher the other way, finding a hole on the right side. Listen, you get an opportunity to fill in. It doesn't happen too often for Hanser Alberto. You want to play some good defense. You want to get a hit or two. Well, he got 3. The first one was a beauty.
Yeah, it was a beauty. Odor takes off the plate.
All right, what is? Yeah, I think he ripped the sleeves off the jacket.
He couldn't have ripped them. I think.
Oh, you know what that is? Actually, I look a little bit closer. That looks more like kind of like a plush. I thought it was like standard jacket, you know, like the team jackets, but I think that might be. What is that? material I'm thinking of. You know, for like a pullover, like a North Face. Velour? It's not velour.
No.
You know what I mean? It's soft.
Oh,
See
yeah,
the
no,
difference?
I know what you're talking about. Oh, shoot.
What
now
is
I can't
that
think of
material?
that. That's so lame.
Velvet?
No, it's. Gosh,
What
darn
is
you.
that, velvet? I mean, if they made the
Velvet fleece,
the velvet sleeveless Texas Ranger pullovers.
I'm going to go with fleece.
All right. Well, could be that too.
Although velvet. Well, anyway, 2 out, and here is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. That's another developing situation we plan to figure out before this series is done. 1-0. And a little bit inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Kiner-Falefa was hit by a pitch, drove in a run. And Jose Leclerc getting ready in the bullpen for the Rangers. We haven't seen a whole lot of him lately. This one off to the right side out of play, 2-1. So it's a 4-game series here in Seattle to wrap up the regular season. Tonight, the opener. Sunday it'll feel very early to us here locally. It'll feel quite normal to Rangers fans back home in the Central Time Zone. But they play all games across Major League Baseball at the same time on the final day of the season, so that whatever madness may ensue in close races will unfold at the same time, which I think is such a cool idea. It's
Well, you have to
been really fun.
No shenanigans of the pitchers, right? Remember Adam Wainwright a few years ago? Cardinals had the later game.
Bouncer third base, long throw by Seager in time. And yes, we're absolutely anti-shenanigans. Last of the 9th inning, Rangers up by 2, and Jose Leclerc coming in to try and save it. The order coming for the Mariners, a 2-0 game, and Jose Leclerc, who's been so good, coming on for Texas.
He certainly has been. It's been a great run this season. Mentioned the improvement in the walks for him, but those 84 strikeouts at 56 2/3, sparkling ERA here, game number 59 for Jose Leclerc.
Which Haniger stands in and he takes strike 1. Haniger reached on an error in the 6th inning. He's 0 for 3. Mariners just have not had much going offensively tonight. Leclerc would like to keep it that way. Bouncer up the middle, and that one is through, a base hit. Well, that is a big base hit for Mitch Haniger and the Mariners, because it assures that the potential tying run gets to the plate now for the rest of this inning.
Yeah, we don't see too many base hits against Jose Leclerc, but he comes out with 2 fastballs. The first one at 94, that 95-mile-an-hour fastball was right on the corner. Good job by Haniger to get that leadoff base hit. But it just seems like they have been so few and far between. As difficult as Jose Leclerc has been to hit.
Next pitch, this one lifted out to center field. We'll hang up for a moment. The Shields is there. And that is out number 1.
So part of what has made Jose Leclerc so great this season is the ability to generate those swings and misses. This is the whiff rate, so the percentage of pitches that are swung at and missed. Jose Leclerc leads Major League Baseball with a 41% whiff rate. You see Edwin Diaz in there as well, the closer for the Seattle Mariners, not far behind. But look at the names. Craig Kimbrell, Josh Hader, those are some really good pitchers. Did that say Edwin Betances?
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Someone else's.
I heard Edwin
on your sleepy stuff.
that one is down low.
So on the graphic,
you said Edwin Diaz, but you're saying on the graphic it said.
No, it said the next one under said Edwin Betances.
Edwin
Cool name. It's a combination of 2 really nasty
listen,
right-handed relievers.
That would be pretty intense.
Like a laboratory closer.
1-1. Count now on Robinson Cano. Cano 0 for 3. Nelson Cruz waiting on deck, so it's definitely one of those spots for a closer. We don't always get these, where your 9th inning guy with a small lead comes on and he has to face the best hitters in the lineup. So many times it seems that falls in the 8th inning. 2-1. And swing and a miss. 2-2.
Pitch here from Jose Leclerc, and as good as he has been as generating swings and misses on that cut changeup like this one right here. Watch this pitch. Diving down and in to Robinson Cano. He actually has not recorded a strikeout in his last 2 outings, which is very unusual for Jose Leclerc. And he's still able to put up zeros. No hits, no runs in any of those outings.
I was on the verge here with Cano. Haniger, the base runner at first. 1 out. A long hold and time called just as Leclerc was about to toss it. Big lead over at first. 2-2. Oh, this ball hit well. Deep out to right field. Back there, though, is Mazzara, and he had enough room. Boy, off the bat, that one had a horrible feeling. But there are 2 away.
I tell you what, I feel like we've seen a couple of pretty well hit fly balls tonight that have not carried nearly as much, and that 96-mile-an-hour fastball got in or were trying to go away, and I think Robinson Cano thought he might have got this one as well. We were having this conversation earlier this afternoon downstairs with Tony Beasley, and I feel like this ballpark has always played fair. I will tell you tonight, though, it does feel like it's holding some hard-hit fly balls inside the yard.
So Nelson Cruz now, who's 0 for 3. And he swings and misses at strike 1, way out in front of that one. And he has not had much success against Jose Leclerc. Off the plate, 1-1. Marco Gonzalez went 5 shutout today for Seattle. Mariners got 6 shutout from Ariel Arado. It's been a bullpen game since then.
He's in line for the win, too, if they can pull this off.
That one floats right in there. Strike 2 call. Haniger off first. And the 1-2 from Leclerc. Just a bit low.
Oh, thought maybe there was a chance that Nelson Cruz offered at that. Here, yeah, no, he did not. Good call.
So 2-2. I mentioned they're announced just less than 16,000 here tonight. Very small crowd. Leclerc's 2-2 pitch, a swing and a miss, strike 3. He gets Cruz, and Leclerc saves another one. And it's another scoreless inning for him, 21 straight. Rangers win this one 2-0.
A great job by Jose Leclerc, mixing it up a little bit, but then ultimately coming back with that fastball up in the zone. No chance at 98 miles an hour for Nelson Cruz to be able to get to that one. And it's the good use of that cut changeup and the slider earlier in the at-bat that made that fastball even better. He saw all sliders early on, elevate the fastball late. And a nice win here tonight for the Texas Rangers. A shutout of the Seattle Mariners. Arado was really good. The bullpen was solid. The young guys filling in. Hanser Alberto had a great night with his 3 at-bats, and we'll take you through this a little bit. He did a nice job, first of all, playing some defense, filling in for Elvis Andrews, turns that double play. And then with the bat, we had some fun with this base hit as he got jammed, but it fell in, and that's a good way to kick things off for Alberto. On this one, he got a hold of as he drove it out to right center field for that automatic double. Ronald Guzman went to third on that one, and then this base hit to right field. And so for Hanser Alberto, you get the start, you get the opportunity, you try to take advantage of it the best you can. He certainly did in this win against the Mariners.
Like I say, you don't get all that many starts, and when you get one, you want to do what you can to make sure that you get on the postgame show. And so that's what he's going to do. He's standing by right now with Emily Jones.
Yeah, Hanser Alberto, 3 hits for you tonight, ties a career high. You don't get a whole lot of opportunities. How important is it for you to make the most of them when you do?
I mean, it feels pretty good. You know, I've been working